This short presentation has been designed to introduce the concept of enterprise data governance, focusing in particular on the top layer of this, Axon. We call this approach enterprise data governance because it will only work if it is an enterprise-wide solution, not another inward-looking siloed effort, but a strategic solution enabling the firm in its entirety to do better around data. The way to begin engaging people across the firm is to consider the enterprise-wide challenges. What, at a macro level, is preventing your employees from doing better around data? Is it a lack of definitions or roles, a lack of data quality checks, or maybe more broadly, a lack of transparency and an effective way to collaborate across disciplines? There will be a number of challenges facing your company today. Firstly, there will be the sheer complexity of the most organizations' technical, data, and business landscapes. In addition to this, most organizations are incredibly fragmented, working in silos rather than collaboratively, and because of this, even when good work is done, it is not dynamic, losing relevance as quickly as changes are made. Focusing solely on the data landscape, traditional data governance approaches only see part of this complexity, ignoring the fact that the data has no intrinsic value, only opportunity. The value of data lays in its usage, so we need to understand the business usage and context to drive value, working collaboratively and dynamically to understand the intersect of the data and business landscapes. The old way of working followed a top-down approach. The focus was data-centric and worked by pushing policies and standards out from a committee, trying to force through best practices with a stick. New data governance is a completely different way of working. It is inclusive, involving everyone in the company. Knowledge about data we hold and how it is being used should be democratized, inputted by all and available to all. The focus should be on the business. Data usage is what makes it relevant and gives it value, not data for data's sake. Alignment should therefore be the default way of working. When you enable people by giving them a centralized platform to share information on, which also allows them to connect their local understanding to the enterprise, this is where alignment by default allows for the natural progression to enterprise-wide data governance. Because the fact is, your organization would not be functioning today if the understanding did not exist. This understanding is scattered. It is in people's heads, filing cabinets, SharePoints, etc. It needs to be connected, to be made accessible and reusable. Once local knowledge is connected, it becomes a knowledge graph for all. It is a central overview of how the organization's data artifacts connect and interact that will only become richer with time. There is a simple three-step approach to getting this information in and seeing the value it adds in no time. Cataloging is easy. We are not asking anyone to model anything. A catalog is simply a list of things, a list of systems, a glossary, a list of people. Connecting things is intuitive, as it comes from anyone's individual point of view, coming together to create a community of users. Control is critical for big firms. Understanding how things are working, monitoring data quality and change via configurable workflows can all be done via Axon. People can collaborate to centrally monitor these things, improving how data is used in the firm. Why is Axon the best place to do all this? As we've discussed, it uses business language and context to ensure that business support is sustained long-term. It clearly demonstrates value, providing auto-generated dynamic dashboards and lineage maps to contextualize data issues. And finally, it allows you to create actionable solutions to the issues exposed. Axon, as part of the Informatica stack, does not just expose issues, but allows you to change things. It forms the collaborative governance workbench at the top of the suite of products. And just below it, products such as DQ, EIC, and Secure at Source can be hooked up to cleanse, scan, and mask your data in line with the business priorities defined from Axon.